Hello, YouTube. This will be my first time reacting to Angry Cops. Probably not my last. He seems like a pretty awesome dude. The title of this video is called Marines Nearly Abducted on Video in Turkey. I'm hoping this is a little bit of clickbait. This is definitely not something you want to hear as a former Marine. This is a little bit of a nightmare scenario, so let's get into this video and see what's actually happening. What is... Oh my gosh, that is not happening. Whoa, that was a Marine. They were covering their... Oh my gosh.
Marines were attacked in Turkey while on shore leave. And when I say attacked, I mean... wrapped up by a bunch of people who then put bags over their heads as they were screaming, "Get out, Yankee." Boy, in an Arab country, that sure sucks. But this wasn't just some gaggle of people that decided to do this. No, this political movement, I guess you could say, is an extreme nationalist group of folks in Turkey that are also super anti-American. Great. Why are we there? And they happen to be
and Turkey is a NATO ally, so this is pretty silly. So, I mean, whatever your political view is or whatever your silly, stupid movement is, to be putting your hands on military personnel from another country, especially our country, is pretty freaking stupid, man. What the fuck are you thinking?
So bold that they recorded this and posted it onto the internet.
What are you doing?
Where we can see it now. And I'm sure it's just really gonna make your night. They're so proud of their work, they had to put their watermark on it, TGB. And now I don't speak Turkish or whatever they speak over there in land. But the group is called the Turkish Youth Union. And like I said earlier, they're a nationalist, anti-American group that just so happens to be pro-Palestinian and has done similar attacks like what you're about to see in the past. And I'll explain why. I do not know the name of the organizer of this group that is currently yelling in the middle of the street. However, paraphrasing what he's saying, he is upset with America in the Middle East, upset with Israel and the Palestinian conflict and America's involvement in it, and believe that America is responsible for the Israeli attacks into Palestine and on Palestinians. That the Turkish people...
Look, you better be very sure about what you're getting into, honestly, because the way you're getting information, who you're getting it from, even their sources, honestly, people on the ground, unless you're directly involved in some of these situations, you don't know what the hell is really happening. So to be putting your hands on people is crazy.
People stand with Palestine and stand against the U.S. and Israel. You can see them wrapping up one Marine as he yells for help, trying to get other Marines, or at least other English speakers, to try and join in. And let me
tell you something. If other Marines are in the area, you better be thanking your lucky stars there weren't any other Marines in the area, because all that shouting you're going to do, you're going to punch in your fucking face, dude.
Say, great job on the crowd to just stand there and record.
Right.
And do absolutely nothing while two individuals absolutely look like they're being abducted. And the other Marine, who happens to look a lot like me when I'm clean shaved, is just not giving a with like 6 people on him, and he's smiling until they put a bag over his head, which, in an Arab country, some might say is a red flag and a precursor to decapitation.
Right, decapitation.
And
what the hell, man?
In English, you can hear the group say, "Get out, Yankee," or "Leave, Yankee." I'm pretty sure it's just "Get out, Yankee." At first, all this looked like was a bunch of weirdos, potentially terrorists, trying to abduct Marines. But I looked a little...
Let me tell you something. Do you want this shit happening here? What the hell are you guys thinking?
Little further into it, and I'm going to give you a little bit more of a deeper dive into the story and why this group of Turks is upset and why they put the hood over the Marine. Follow me on this rabbit hole. But before we get into the insanity, first a word from this video's sponsor, Lumen.
Okay, I'm going to skip past this one, this video, or this advertisement real quick so we can get back to this video.
It's March of 2003 and the war in Iraq has just begun. Unfortunately for the US forces, Turkey backed out of what we thought was an ironclad deal, which would allow us to attack Iraq from the north within the Turkish border and go down south into Iraq. But
I actually remember this, and it was like this whole thing where they had problems with the Kurds and they didn't want us to help the Kurds at all. And they're supposed to be one of our allies. So this is some shady ass shit. And this isn't the first time I've heard shady ass shit coming out of Turkey. And you got to think about places like Turkey. And like I said, I have nothing against their people, but like the relationships with other governments, They have a close relationship with Iran. So, like, say if you were doing something shady here and you wanted to do something shady with Iran, all you would have to do was meet them in Turkey. There's places like this in the world. So you guys, we have to be really careful and very watchful.
But whoopsie daisy, Turkey said no, we couldn't do it anymore, and the United States moved on without Turkey's help. Fast forward into July of 2003, and the United States has taken over Iraq, but there's an insurgency going on. Still a lot of battles happening. And while United States forces are in battle, they're also being assisted by the Kurds. The Kurds live in northern Iraq and have an unofficial land called Kurdistan, which kind of goes into Turkey and northern Iraq and a couple other places. They want autonomy and don't often play very nice, especially with Turkey.
Right.
But there they are. And in July of 2003, while doing combat missions, American soldiers run into a safe house, which happens to house a whole bunch of, well, Turkish military special operators.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
What?
What are you doing down here, guys? I thought you weren't assisting us. I thought you didn't want to be a part of this. Why are you now in our battle space without us knowing? Some people would say, not a good look. And as any group of professional young soldiers would be, well, they collected up these Turkish military members in the special operations section, and they put a couple bags over their heads, drove them off to be interviewed, and did so. What are you doing here? How come you're in this space when Turkey's not supposed to be in here? We thought you guys didn't want to be a part of this, but now you are, and you're in the Kurdish area of Iraq. Are you guys doing shady that's going to disrupt the whole community?
100%. 100%. They're there in Kurdish land for a reason, man.
Are you? Are you? Well, this whole roundup of Turkish special operators in the safe house ends up turning into a treasure trove of holy I'm glad we stumbled on this, because some additional discoveries were over 33 pounds of explosives, multiple sniper rifles, and a map showing numerous shooting locations around the Kurdish governor's house.
Oh no, you guys got caught.
Now, did we hold those Turkish saboteurs for a while? Only 60 hours, and we immediately gave them back to Turkey. So in a nutshell, Turkish special operators come down on the behalf of Turkey to destabilize the Kurdish population in northern Iraq, a battle space in which us, the United States, are currently involved in.
Saboteurs is a nice way to put it, more like assassins.
We disrupt that, put some sandbags over their heads so they don't see where they're going or what's going on, question them, find out the plan to kill the freaking Kurdish governor and send the whole area into turmoil, stop it, and then send them back home after 60 hours. Wow, what a NATO ally. Now that doesn't seem like such a big deal to us, but for some reason, Turkey was super pissed off and its populace was very angry. They called it the Hood event.
Oh God.
I don't know what the f***'s going on in Turkey. I thought you had some better shit to do, but I figured putting a sandbag over somebody's head really wasn't that big of a deal. But for them, it's the end of the world. And that's exactly what these dumb Turkish nationalist anti-American idiots are protesting, you can call it almost an abduction, when United States military personnel visit Turkey. These morons are upset that after they chose to go into a battle space of which they were not assisting us, that we politely wrangled up their guys with no injury.
Fuck out of here.
Hooded them so they didn't know where they were going because you're going on a military post and God knows you're not really an ally at the moment. And then we let them go in 60 hours. And because of that horribly humane treatment, the Turkish people and these idiots treat us with contempt. Wow. F you, Turkey. So now here we are in this stupid video with the Marines getting snatched up, yelling for help, getting a bag thrown over your head by a crazy wild group of civilians, and every Marine plays it cool. Because let's be honest here, right? If the Marines start kicking and screaming and doing something crazy, the group could turn on them, and then it could be violent. Heck, you see the one idiot fly through here when the white guy almost gets the hood put over his face and start trying to punch people but holds them back. I think that's the guy that was screaming. I can't tell. They all look the same. But luckily,
Oh, no.
all 15, they say 15, of the Turkish individuals that held those Marines and sandbagged over their heads because they're upset with the way we nicely treated their saboteurs in 2003.
Assassins.
Sorry, losing my cool. The 15 that did this to the Marines have all been arrested and charges are pending. I don't know what...
No, charges are pending. What the hell? They're going to get a slap on the wrist, guys. Let's face it. Ain't nothing going to happen
they're gonna get, but I would not feel comfortable walking through Turkey at that pier anymore.
Don't go to Turkey.
And these Marines were attached to the USS Wasp, a large naval carrier group that's out there in the Middle East. And immediately changes were made. Nobody was to leave off the pier. Everybody was on a heightened status of alert because there's now like a group, could potentially be a terrorist group, coming after Marines, potentially trying, looking like they're going to abduct them. So, Marines might want to travel in groups of 4, right? Maybe more now.
Maybe more.
If a group wrangles ya, yeah, be the calm, cool, collected guy, talk them down. But the second that hood comes out, you're biting and screaming, and you're gnawing at their freaking elbow and thumbing their eyes and breaking back fingers.
I'm sorry. It would be hard for me to control myself if anyone put their hands on me, even if I was in a foreign country. Okay, I'm just that kind of behavior, seriously. I wouldn't have been as cool as those guys were, seriously.
And there are no rules in a street fight in Turkey, and I hope you know that.
The cost to replace your ASA unit is about to increase by about 20%. Can you imagine that?
Very proud of you for all holding yourselves calm, cool, and collected. Would have loved to see more Marines show up in a fast motion and just start drilling people in the face. Honestly, if it got to odds that where it was like 3 dudes versus 1 Marine, if we had those numbers,
let's do this.
I think the Marines would have just said, fuck it. We get back to back and we just start beaning people, and it's on. It's absolutely on. Look how fat and sloppy half of these guys are. You're telling me a couple boop boops to the chin and they wouldn't fall down? Allahu in their last bar? This world is turning into a weird space, people. All right. A lot of conflict going on. Not a lot of accountability. I think we all need to start coming back and seeing ourselves as Americans again and not right or left or Democrat and Republican or whatever else you want to say.
Good message, guys. Fuck all that dumb shit, because when you're in the military, you have your political views, but I'm telling you right now, when the bullets start flying or shit starts happening, you're Americans, and you have to remember that. This is all a bunch of bullshit. When things like this happen, it's important to remember we are Americans and we have to watch each other's back.
Because it is starting to feel like it's us against the world again.
It does.
Best way to support the channel is get yourself a t-shirt. Make drill sergeants great again. Bring
drill
back
instructors,
training.
drill sergeants, yeah.
E4 Mafia. Look at that fella skating. Getting away
Mafia.
with murder because he knows how to work the system.
Skate.
Cheapest way to support the channel is to leave a comment and a
E4
like.
Mafia.
Whatever you want. Tell me what you would love to do in this situation. Is everybody, like I know I do, every guy not just like dream of and constantly daydream of like being outnumbered and fighting your way through, you know, like sometimes. A terrorist group, like you're on your knees and you're about to get beheaded, but then you roll over the camera, you get a gun to kill everybody, and now you're trying to escape, and then you gotta, you know, get into a car, you gotta put a hand dress on, you gotta drive to the next military post. Just me? You should think about it all the time.
Might be just you, bruh. It's pretty funny.
Weirdos. That's my 2 cents. Don't put that on Twitter. Put it on Twitter. I don't give a shit.
So I guess that's a video, guys. So I'll probably react to more of his stuff. He seems pretty cool. Yeah, what a nightmare situation. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe again. Thank you for tuning in.